Hi guys, so in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make this look. I kind of just took some ideas off of Pinterest and copied it. I'm not a makeup artist, so please do not use this as a tutorial. I'm just kind of showing you what I did. So yeah. So first I started off with this primer and I kind of just put it on my finger and then put it all over my face just to protect my face from the makeup and avoid getting any pimples later, of course. That's just me putting it on. After that, I grabbed some translucent powder and I just kind of put that all over my face to avoid any grease before putting on foundation. And I'm going to keep putting it on afterwards, but this is just the first step to avoid any grease. Especially me, I have a very oily face, so that helps a lot. And then I kind of just took it all off like that. And then I took this brow stick and I kind of just went over my brows like that. I like to make a line and then rub it away with my finger. I don't know if this technique is useful, but it works for me just because I already have brows. So yeah, that's just me doing my brows. After that, I took a glue stick and I put it over the edge of my brow just to keep that down so that I can layer foundation on top of it and make basically that disappear. And then I took this brow gel thing that just keeps my brows in place, makes them look prettier. And then I took some of the excess product off and just put that all over my brows to make them look pretty. So yes, that is me putting it on. Then I took some concealer and I just put that on my hand so that I could have the product on my hand like that. And then I took this brush and I took some onto the brush and I just underlined the brow like this. And then I kind of just took that product and I also went over the part of the brow that I had put glue on top of, just because we want to basically make that disappear. And you want to make sure that there's like a straight line there, like you don't want it to just end weirdly. So yes, you kind of just... And then I did the same with the other brow, but of course I didn't go over the back end. I just went in like a arch shape and over my eyelid also. And then once I was done with that, I took my beauty blender and some setting spray and I just wet that like that and spread it all over my face, blended it in like this. Then after I finished that, I took again some more translucent powder and I put that all over the places where I had put the concealer, especially that brow, to set it all in like that. Then I took that brush again and I brushed it all out. Then I took some more of that concealer and I did a second layer on top of that eyebrow like this. And then another layer of translucent powder just over that tiny piece of a brow that we had done earlier. And then I put another layer of concealer just to make sure that that brow completely disappears and we can very easily draw on top of it. And then again, I went over it with my wet beauty blender to make it look more natural. Then I took my white eyeliner and I started making the shape. I'm sorry you can't see anything because of the light, but this is just me kind of making the shape. I like to put some of the product on my hand just so that it's easier to draw with it, like when it's running out. So yes, there is me making the shape. And this is how it ended up. Then I took a brush with some light blue and I started coloring in the shape that I had already made, like that. I'm sorry you can see very little because of the light, but there it is. And then I took a darker shade of blue and I started shading just like the edges of that shape we already had. And here you can't see anything because of the light, and I'm truly sorry. And then after I was done with that, I took some of this very clear, creamy color, and I just put that all over my eyelid like this. And I did it for both of my eyelids. And then after I was done putting that on both of my eyelids, I took some tape and I made this line just to make sure we get a very sharp ending. And I did this for both of my eyes, like that. And then after I was done putting on the tape, I grabbed these two kind of brownish cream colors and I put it over my crease just to add some definition to my eyelid like this. And I made sure to concentrate on the part with the tape just so they would look cooler at the end. And then I grabbed this blue shade, which is the one I used for the drip on the eyebrow, and I did the same. I put it over the same parts. And then after I was done doing that on both eyes, I grabbed this darker shade and I kind of just went over that line again, but in a more rigid line. I'm sorry you can't see anything because of the very intense light I was using, but I guess you can kind of see the shape that I was going for there. There you can see it a little bit better. And that's basically what it looked like. And then after I was done making that line for both my eyes, I grabbed again that kind of creamy shade and I blended it out just so it would look better, more natural. This actually takes a while, so you need a lot of patience with this. Then after I was done blending it out, I grabbed again some more concealer with that brush I'd used earlier and I began cutting my crease. Again, I'm sorry you can barely see what I'm doing, but just a little tip of advice, this is very hard to do. It took me a lot of time to master. So yes, there is me cutting my crease. This is basically what it turned out. After that, I grabbed some translucent powder and just set that concealer a little bit. After that, I grabbed again some of more of that blue shade and I made sure that mix between the concealer and the blue eyeshadow that was already there looked very good. Then after I did that on both eyes, I grabbed again some of that light blue and I went over that top part and also through the middle of that cut crease, just kind of mixing it all together just to make it all look smoothly put together. And then also in the middle, like I said earlier. After this, I then tried to put this glittery shade over that cut crease like this, but because it is a highlighter, it didn't really turn out as intense as I wanted it to look. Even though it may look very intense in the camera, it didn't look that well in person. So yeah, that's kind of what it looked. So because I didn't look what it looked like, I grabbed some white eyeshadow and just put that over where I was going to be putting all the glitter just to make it look way more intense. And I went over it like that with a very precise small pencil brush thing. And then after I was done putting white on both of these creases like this, I also put some on my inner eyelid corner. Then I grabbed that glittery shade again and I put it over that white like this. So basically did 2 layers of glitter. But yes, it turned out so much better than the first time and it looked so much better. And then just because I'm really extra, I grabbed some more shimmery shades from this pineapple palette I have from Tarte. And I put it over that glimmery shade. Again, I am sorry for the light, you can't see anything, but I went over it with my finger. Like that. Then I grabbed my white eyeliner again and I went over that cut crease just to make the transition look a lot more cooler. I am sorry you cannot see because of the light, but that is me doing that a little line, just separate it. So you get a better view. This is what it turned out like. So then after I was done with that, I peeled off the tape like that, very satisfying. And then with a little thing wet with makeup remover, I kind of just took off all of the stuff that had fallen from the eye makeup to clean everything up. Sparkles, blue stuff, everything that was on my face at this point. Then again, I grabbed my concealer and just put that on all of the places that I wanted to highlight of my face and also on top of some imperfections. My nose, my forehead, and my chin also, and around my nose to cover some red spots. Then I grabbed my beauty blender, wet it like this, and I started blending all of the concealer out on my face. This takes a really long time if you don't want it to look cakey, so it takes a lot of patience. After that, I grabbed some translucent powder once again, and just put that all over the places where I had put the concealer on before, just to make sure that it doesn't end up cakey or greasy. This is just me layering that all on. And then while I waited for all of that to set together, I grabbed my brow pencil and just went over that little line again, just to make sure it looked really, really sharp. And then I grabbed my brush and just blended. After that, I grabbed my bronzer and a new brush, and I just put that over my cheekbones and my forehead and my jawline and my nose. I like to put it as high as possible just because it makes your face look more snatched, like that. And then I also put some on my forehead to make it look a little smaller. And then on my jawline, like that. And then on my nose, I like to squish it like that and just pat it on to make it look a lot smaller and way more snatched, like that. Then after I was done with that, I grabbed some pink and I put it over only the high top of my cheek, like that, so that I would be able to draw that teardrop, water drop looking thing on later and the blush wouldn't come in the way. And I put some on the tip of my nose also with some of the darker blush. Then after that, I got some of that dark blue shade once again, and I went over the inner corner under of the eye with it, only on the darker side, like on the farther side of the eye. I don't know if I'm explaining myself well, but like there. Then I grabbed some of that lighter shade and put it in the middle of the bottom next to that dark blue shade we just put on there, like that, and mix them both together like that. Then after I was done, I got some of that white and ended that of the third and mixed it all together. Then I got some blue eyeliner, put it on my hand to look like that, and that's me with one eye done, and then I had to do the other. Then that's after both of them are done, and I grabbed my white. Then that's what it ended up looking like. Then I grabbed some blue, that light color, and I kind of started filling it in. Again, I'm sorry you can barely see me doing it, but there it is. Then like I did with my brow, I grabbed again some of the darker color and I went over the edges like that to make it look more real. Then I grabbed my white eyeliner and did that on the other side. Then after that, I took my eyelash curler and curled my eyelashes. And then I put some mascara primer on just to make sure that the mascara didn't come out chunky. Then I took some blue mascara like that, and I took some of the excess product off on the tip. And then I just put it on all over my eyelash. Then after I was done with that, I grabbed again some of that blue shade and put it all over my lips, just to act as like a blue lipstick of some sort. Then after I was done putting all that, I grabbed some of that darker shade once again, and I went over like a lip liner around my lips, like that. Then I grabbed some lip gloss and put that on top of it to make it look more cool, like that. And that's it. This is just kind of how it turned out. I was really happy with the outcome of this. It actually took me about like 2 hours to finish, which was a lot. But hopefully you like it, because there is me taking it off after working on it for 2 hours because I felt like it. Hope you enjoyed my disaster, and thank you for watching.